list for Rainbow Six Siege for Operation Commanding Force. And today we're going to be doing a weapon tier list. So we are ranking everybody based on their weapons, weapon combinations, and how good they are. We're going to be doing attackers first, and then we're going to be doing defenders afterwards. So attackers are going to be first. Let's get it. So just based on their weapons, no grenades, no abilities, nothing. Just their weapons. Sledge. Easy A tier. I like that gun a lot. I think that is really good, stable, but nothing like that. It's out of the box, super good. We're going to start with Sledge and Thatcher at A. I mean, I feel like the LA is better than the AR variant. I think the AR is also good, but it's definitely not an S tier weapon, so good there. Thermite, I think it's almost the same as Sledge and Thatcher, but I feel like it's slightly worse personally, but I feel like it's only slightly worse, but it's still pretty good. In fact, I'm gonna probably move these guys down because there's a lot of room to work, so that's good. Ash, A tier, because I mean that's literally why I did it. I don't think the G36 or the R4C are S tier weapons personally. G36C I love. I mean I'm an Ayana main, so you think I would love that gun, but I don't think that gun is like really good. Like it is a very stable gun and is great, but I think that there are weaknesses to that gun that other guns do have the edge on. Here, this is going to be the first guns that we're going to be talking about on this. That's going to be at the top. Let me find it. Actually, I have a lot of guns. I think I need to just do this gun by gun. I think that like. I'm looking at these guys, and I'm just like, I see pros and cons on a lot of these guns. Honestly, I'm going to start with Ash and Ayana at S tier. These guys will be A tier. I think I'm going to give myself too much wiggle room there. All right. Montaigne, I mean, when I'm talking about shields, I'm thinking pistol and shield combination, which is going to be D. No ability, just pistol and a shield. It'll be a D tier. Which I'm gonna place Twitch at B. The F2 itself is kind of mid, and you do have the best DMR in the games. The DMR is solid, but it is a DMR. So Lion has the same DMR as well, which is pretty good. But also has that other gun that is, I'm not sure what it's called, but it is a good fire rate and has 50 bullets in the mag. So Glaz's gun without the ability, D tier for sure, not great. IQ. S tier, 100%. In fact, actually, this is what I need to do. This is the first S tier weapon. This is why a lot of people love this thing. I think that this gun is one of the best guns in the game right now, the Commando. 2 shots, 3 speeds to the chest, and is very stable. I feel like it is one of the best guns in the game. Is why a lot of people like playing IQ. So, I feel like that's a pretty good spot to put her. Fuse, S tier as well. The AK is still, even with its nerf, is still one of the best guns in the game. That's why a lot of people like when I say Ace is more of a frag friendly op. It's because you throw your breach at the wall and then you can just go crazy with that AK. Let's with Montaigne, Buck's gun. I'm placing it A tier because not S tier because it does have some recoil, so it does have pros and cons. But if it didn't have as much recoil, it'd definitely be an S tier. But it is definitely a really, really good. It does bounce quite a bit. Blackbeard without the shield is going to be D tier. Capital. I'm going to place Capital. I don't think it's as good as the Commando, but I do think that it is very, very good. It is a very strong weapon, but I do think that the Commando does outperform it. So, Grim also has Commando, so boom. So yeah, they're going to be there. And this is going to function as the new operator, Brava, who has the same gun as Capital. It does over 50 damage with an extended barrel. So you are going to be able to 2-shot, 3 speeds to the chest. So it does a lot of damage. So Brava, and this is a weapon tier list. That's why I said without the shield. Ibana. See, a lot of people love this. I think Ibana's gun is pretty good, but I do feel like it lets me down sometimes. But it's definitely not an S tier weapon. I honestly am floating between B and A, personally. In fact, I'm going to place Ibana more at B. You guys might be able to convince me to put Hibana at A, but that gun, 20 bullet capacity is rough, but for those 20 bullets, it's really decent damage and decent fire rate. So, Ying, A tier, probably the best LMG in the game. I mean, there's not really any LMG that are good anymore, so I feel like that is a very solid weapon. Gridlock, I feel like Gridlock has weapons that are incredible. Honestly, I would probably place Gridlock at S tier. I'm sorry, I know that's weird as hell. SenVale place Gridlock at S tier. Gridlock has a lot of good weapons. The problem is you have to play Gridlock, a 3 armor on attack. A lot of people don't want to do that. But Gridlock herself, look, her weapons are actually really good. I think that's pretty solid. Jackal, the gun that I would place in S tier got nerfed. There's another gun, the PDW, that is really strong, really good. I'm not sure if I would place it S tier. PDW. You know what? I think I would. I think the PDW is an S tier weapon. It is a head ripper. It is really good and really stable, and it has 50 bullets. I think it's an S tier weapon. I was contemplating while I was comparing it to the G36 and like these guns. I do feel like the PDW does outperform. So, Doke, just the DMR. I mean, there you go. Next to the other DMR. I think Doke is slightly worse than Twitch, but not by enough that I'd place her in D tier. In fact, I'm gonna place the Steelers there. Laz as well. Blackbeard can be there by himself because that guy with extended barrel does do over 50 damage now. So, well, actually, no, it only is 47. Is that? Never mind. It's not even that good at it. Anyways. Oh, you have the G8. G8 is still a fairly decent weapon. I would say I personally don't like it a lot, but it is still really good as an LMG. So definitely still up there in the S tier. I mean, yeah, you can run PDW with a long barrel, extended barrel. I just run flash hider just to keep that a laser beam, so it functions like G36, but fires faster and has more bullets. That's why I'm comparing it to the G3 there. Finka, D tier for sure. Finka's guns are horrible, very shit guns. So there you go. You put PDW in A tier. Yeah, it's each their own. I think PDW is an amazing gun. I was a hater for a while. I like Jackal's other primary, the C7. But I've been falling in love with every time I run the PDW. It's just so good. And the C7 is actually still a good gun that would be competing in the S or A tier anyway. So I feel like most people aren't going to be having a problem with Jackal. Jackal's been an operator that has had the best guns in the game for a long time. So it doesn't really hurt me to say that he's still up there. Zofia, I definitely play Zofia at least A tier. I also want to put Zofia at S tier. This gun is really good. Zof got a heavy nerf with the speed, but I feel like Zof's guns are still really strong. Ace, S tier as well, the Fuse, AK. Zero, I'm placing him slightly lower because this gun, if you run an extended barrel, it does do 2 shots to the body on the 3 speeds, but it does bounce a bit. So it is a little harder to use, but it's still really strong, but isn't as strong as the Commander with an extended barrel. Flores, probably right there with next to the Thatch. Sens gun is very rough to use, but does have decent ammo capacity, okay fire rate. Nock's never been known for her primary gun. It's very mid. Honestly, probably could be lower. But then I see Finka and Blackbeard, so I'm like slightly above them. And I believe that is going to be the attackers, unless I'm missing somebody. I don't believe I am, though. Callie just her primary weapon with her secondary weapon combination. I'm going to place Callie at the E tier. Could be higher, depending on the situation you're bringing this gun, but I'm talking about this gun on all maps and all scenarios. I feel like B tier is a solid spot to be. I mean, you're next to these guns, which are all pretty good, so. Maverick does fit over 50 damage, so it's not bad, but it does bounce a lot, so I'm going to place him next to the Zero. Actually, I do think the gun is slightly worse than Zero, so I would probably go for more beats here. So, Oh, no, Zof LMG is bad, but Zof's AR is good. Nomad. I'm going to put Nomad at S. The reason why Nomad is at S is because Ayana was the best op in the game for a long time, and she had her ARX nerfed. Try to nerf her. They didn't nerf the G3. They buffed the G3. They nerfed the ARX. Nomad still has the ARX variant that Ayana had. So Ayana's ARX, sorry, Nomad's ARX has a vertical grip, everything that Ayana's ARX used to have. So I do think that it is still an S tier weapon. I feel like it is the best 20 bullet gun in the game, personally. And I think that is going to be it. These are the attackers. This is the list. I mean, these guys are kind of like off weapons, and then you have, yeah, I agree with this. I kind of agree with all this. I might place Finka DMR slightly higher because I do think it is a better DMR than Dokes. But I struggle to put the DMR next to these guys, but I would need another layer, maybe. I think I'm solid on this. This is Brava's weapon, so here we go. All right, guys, and that is the attackers. Now we're going to be doing the defenders. All right, defenders, smoke and mute shotgun with a SMG-11. This is going to be the threshold. A tier. You can never go wrong with this combination. Shotgun's good. The SMG-11's good. You know, the only thing you sometimes struggle is long range, so it's a good combination to have, but definitely has its downsides occasionally. Pulse UMP with a 1.5 scope, I feel like is more, is B tier. I feel like this combination, I personally would think it was A tier, but I'm going to place Pulse at B tier because I know a lot of people like, the damage per bullet is okay, fire rate's slow and stable, but I kind of want to play some 8s here, but I don't feel good placing next to the shotgun SMG-11 combo. Not quite there. Castle, same weapon. Doc MP5 with a 1.5 scope. This is S tier. Arguments, complaints, Rook as well. The reason why people play these ops to begin with is to use these weapons. Any arguments, complaints, disagreements? MP5 1.5 scope is better than the UMP 1.5 scope. So, the Chanka, the LMG, which is kind of mid, or the other. That gun is going to be more of a B tier weapon, which would be a zombie as well. Like, it's not an amazing gun, but it's a pretty good, solid, stable gun. I haven't tried the extended barrel yet this season. I've been mostly running flash fire. Then again, I've also won my first 15 ranked matches and haven't lost yet. So, AW. Bandit. There's only one spot to place Bandit, and this is why a lot of people run Bandit even on sites where he has no utility. Bandit's gun is one of the best 1x guns in the game on defense for sure, 100%. MP7 is amazing. It's an amazing gun. Every time I get to run it because I'm like Bandit tricking, I usually go off because it is such a good damn gun. Well, I mean, Jaeger. Carbine is an assault rifle on defense. Same with my, I mean, you either have the assault rifle or the MP5 is pretty good, but I feel like the AUG does have a little bit of bounce. I do feel like the AUG is slightly worse, but both of them are pretty solid and are assault rifles. I'm gonna keep them both at S tier. I feel like that's a safe spot. I feel like Wamai is slightly worse than Jaeger's. Still up there. Legion A tier. The T5 is amazing. 1x scope. The only reason why he's not higher is because I value the MPX or the Jaeger or Wamai is slightly above Legion's gun. I think that Legion should be S tier. In fact, I'll put Legion in S tier. But that makes Oryx, who has a 1.5 scope, even higher. So honestly, I have to shift everyone down because I need more layers. I need more layers. Thoughts? Concerns? I think this is good. I need more layers, so I got to shift everyone down just a little bit. Frost with 1.5 scope, honestly, definitely at least an A tier. Definitely up there with those guys. Amazing gun. We did not miss hammer. I did hammer on attack. But Frost, 1.5 scope. Fire rate, slow. Damage, good. Extended barrel, all still stable. I mean, always a solid gun to have. But is slow. Valkyrie. MP5, MPX with a 1x scope. Like, not amazing. MPX with a 1.5 scope. Amazing. Amazing gun. Right there up with Oryx. There's a reason why I played a lot, because that gun is crazy good. Sure. Flash, E tier, horrible. Capkin, 7x17 with a 1.5 scope. Not definitely higher than this. How high up though? We're gonna place Capkin like. I feel like that's a solid spot for Capkin. This is a weapon tier list, just based on the operator's weapon and nothing else. That's a solid spot for Capkin's weapon. Kavera above Clash, but not by much. Echo MP5 with a 1. I mean, that's there. Do the Supernova, which is the best shotgun in the game with Barry 9 or 1.5 MP5. Like, you know, that's just how it is. Like, Mozzie, I want to put Mozzie up higher, but I do feel like that bullet capacity does make him slightly worse, so I'm placing Mozzie at A. Maybe you guys disagree, but you know, the mag capacity does tend to. I see a lot of people die because of it. Maestro D tier, especially with the reload cancellation and an LMG. Like, Maestro's gun is just kind of mid now, personally. You're gonna reload at one point, and then you're just probably just gonna die afterwards. In fact, actually, I'm gonna place Maestro slightly higher because I do feel like getting that one kill is going to be easy with Maestro, but then when you try to reload, you're going to die. So, Alibi, easy A tier. In fact, Alibi should be higher, but I can't compare it to the only 1x is the MP7, and I do think that MP7 is way better than Alibi Storm currently. Cade, I love playing Cade for the wall denial, but Cade's weapons are not that good. And I prefer all these weapons here. I would place Cade at D tier. In terms of just raw weaponry, Cade is not great. Agree or disagree? I don't think Cade's guns are that good. I would prefer every gun above over Cade's weapons. But then you have Cav next to Cade. And I'm like, well, Cav's weapons are still worse, so Cav needs to go down again. Sorry, Cav, I tried. Fenders, clear. Mira, Vector with a 1x scope. Vector needs to go, I believe, here with a 1x. Yeah, I feel like that's a safe spot. The Vector is an amazing gun. That's why Goyo is at the S tier with a 1.5 scope variant of it. Amazing gun. Headshot Ripper. Fire rate is insane. So, I feel like they're safe on that note. MP5 with 1x, I would probably place at the B tier. Yeah, I think that the B tier is fine. Actually, no. I can't place them above Pulse and Castle because I prefer these over this. But, like, I think they need to be there. With the 1.5 variants, I feel like that is safe to do. Not that these guns are bad. Close range are good, but this is close range and long range. So it's like, could move these guys up, but in terms of just raw weaponry, like, you don't really, that's not why you're picking these ops. You're picking them for the utility, and then you like the weapons. So, L's gun, I've never had a lot of success with this gun, but I know a lot of people are going to hate on me if I just say this gun is bad. But fire rate, damage, I mean, recoil is, I can't see that being higher than C tier. I'll place it C tier because, you know, I know people are going to try to make an argument for this, but I hate this gun. Aruni DMR, I think this is an obvious one for me. I don't know about you guys, but A Rooney DMR is amazing. It's the only defender DMR, and people literally complain about how strong it is. So I feel like that's an easy S tier. Don't really need to even think about it. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. It is what it is. Thorn, A tier, good guns, good backup secondary. Everything about her really good. Solus, MP90, the 1X. I feel like that is A tier. It is a little bumpy, but it is high fire rate, high fire rate, low recoil. It's a head ripper. You get a headshot, they're dead. So if this game wasn't a one-shot headshot, that's going to be worse, but it's a one-shot headshot. Thunderbird, you guys may hate on me for this one, but I'm placing Thunderbird at B tier because on PC, Thunderbird's gun has a lot of recoil. A lot of recoil. Definitely the worst of, I mean, I feel like she's very safe there. I would place her here. Honestly, I'm gonna place her here. I don't like Thunderbird's gun. And it has recoil even with a 1X. It's just such a bumpy mess. But it does a lot of damage. And you can use it, but I just feel like there's so many better options. I feel like the spear is just mid. Vigil, the K1A. I don't feel like he is above anyone on C tier, so he is going to be C tier as well. I believe that's it. I might be missing somebody. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. Oh, this is it. All right, well. If I had to lower anybody on this list on C tier down a little bit, it would probably be the Ella, because comparing these weapons are very similar in my eyes. MP5 with the 1X, MPX is equivalent. I feel like everyone here, I feel like this list is good. I feel like this is good. Thoughts, concerns? What do you guys think about this weapon tier list for defenders? If you guys have any agreements, disagree, make sure to put that down in the comments below and tell me why you would place an operator higher or lower than another operator, and you know why that is compared to another op. Yeah, make sure you just say that instead of just saying, SenVale, you are dumb. That doesn't make sense. It does not help anybody. It's just you trying to be a jerk. I'll probably just leave your comment anyways. What is this? This is a weapon tier list. So tier list based on only the operator's weapons in its entirety. I think this is, you may have a disagreement with like an op or two, but I think as a whole, this is kind of like how Siege is. Like, I feel like this one's probably more to how most people feel than the attacker one. The attacker one is like more my preference, I think. And this one's definitely like how everybody should be. Okay, Doug. I agree with the T5 also being an S tier weapon, even with the 1X. I do agree with that. But should I put that over the you know what? Whatever. I don't care. It's my list. I agree with you. I agree with you. I think if there was another, but then I feel like I need to slide everything down and then put Warden and Oryx at a tier of their own. Yeah, I feel like this is fine. I would place Warden and Oryx at a tier by themselves though, if honestly, but the Warden's gun to Rook and Doc are, I mean, it's basically the same gun. It's just Warden's fast, so. I like Castle S. I mean, Castle and the UMP with the 1.5 scopes are really good. I struggled placing them this low, honestly. I kind of wanted to place them at the A tier range, but the fire rate does get people killed. You do gotta pre-fire a little bit, and it does have a little bit less than 30 bullets. So, I mean, compared to Frost 1.5, obviously Frost's 1.5 is better than the UMP. Arguments on that, I mean, I feel like that's an obvious one. Those guns, we did the attacker guns already. All right, guys, that's it. Make sure to subscribe, drop a comment, and leave a like down below for more. And make sure to tell me who you agree with and who you disagree with and why. Peace out, guys. Until next time. Peace out.